want to say thank you to my mom because she is just such a powerful and independent woman, and growing up she was just like such a good influence and a good role model for me to have, and I'm just so thankful for her. So yeah. Someone that I really admire is Kimberly Crenshaw because she is kind of the founder of intersectionality, and I really want to go into law and politics, and I like studying civil rights and human rights, and she just really put intersectionality into perspective, and it makes it much more easier to accurately study things like race, class, and gender when you understand the intersections of those things. So I just really admire her.
Okay. I thank my mother, my grandmother, my sisters. I thank really every black woman in my life. Without them, I wouldn't be the woman I am today. I'm a first generation student, and even though they don't know what it's like to go to a 4-year college, they've given me as much support and love than I could ever ask for. I want to thank Flo Kennedy. I have a long list. Flo Kennedy, Mariah Stewart, Ida B. Wells. I want to thank Frances E.W. Harper, Sojourner B. Truth, and ultimately Phyllis Wheatley. Phyllis Wheatley, I went to her elementary school. And also, she is the first black writer, first black writer, African-American writer. So before any black men, there was Phyllis Wheatley. No shade. But as a writer, an aspiring writer, I thank her. We're not talking about her a lot, but she is an incredible woman. And all the women I've listed, all the black women, women in general, everyone in general, they're great, and yeah, that's fun.
I was raised by mostly women. I have a lot of aunts and girl cousins, and my mom and my grandmother, and I think it's because of them that I am the person that I am today, that I am not afraid to be unapologetically me and to stand in that always. So yeah. I want to thank Janelle Monáe. Because I just love seeing a weird black girl in media and being able to embrace that and to wear whatever she wants and to not style herself for the male consumption. And I think it's important for me and my young sister and my young nieces and cousins to see a woman who's not particularly light either and embrace herself like that in media and be nominated for Grammys and have Tonys and all of that. So yeah, thank you, Janelle.
She is no longer with me, but it would be my mother, Georgia Roby. She passed in 2012. And I would thank her not only first for giving me life, her and my father, but also just for the outstanding role model she was to me as a woman, as a Christian woman, as a mother, a praying mother, as an awesome wife, and just a great individual. She knew who she was in herself.
That's amazing. Okay.
In history, probably would be Madam C.J. Walker, the first billionaire, and also because of her hair care products. I think she assisted black women in general to not only feel good about themselves on the outside, but also the inside, because she dared to be different by starting her own business. And she sought to seek what women of color needed to make themselves feel better inside and outwardly. So probably Madam C.J. Walker. Because oftentimes people don't teach what they don't know, and unfortunately people don't know what has not been taught. And women of color, people of color in general, we wait for people to invite us to the table as opposed to preparing ourselves to come to the table. Same way with curriculum. We need to make sure we are telling the story. It doesn't have to be in the classroom for a story to be told. Any platform can be a classroom. And so we have to stop waiting for it to be taught in a more formal setting and teach it daily, informally. I teach it to my students, I teach it to my children, I teach it to the men that I love that are in my life. And so we often, as women of color, act asked not to be put in a box, yet we strive every day to jump in a box. So it's not about what people are teaching in the curriculum, it's about what we teach by our walk every day.
I would like to say thank you to my mom. She paved the pathway for me to do everything I'm able to do now. And she just gives me a lot of good advice and helps me never.
I would like to say thank you to one of my previous advisors. She's a lot of the reason why I'm in this school today, because she helped me out a lot. She made me find scholarships. She encouraged me and pushed me to achieve great things in school. So I'd like to say thank you to her. Well, honestly, within the education system or just anywhere really, you don't see a lot of women of color that are involved in things, because a lot of people, they just kind of shy away from it, or their place in society is different in comparison to others who are not of color, and it's just something that's hard to find. But personally, I believe that it is increasing. It's more students enroll in college and whatnot.
My name is Robert Wright, and I would like to thank the women of ASALH. More specifically, I would like to thank Miss Jackie for encouraging me to be who I am and telling me it's okay to demand the best from the world. And I would also like to thank Senator Truth for encouraging me and all people of color, for encouraging me and everyone else, and especially my sisters of color, for encouraging them to speak the truth no matter who isn't listening.
A woman I'd like to say thank you to is my mom, because she's the reason I get to be at college.
I would like to say thank you to my Aunt Gretchen, because she's helped me understand a lot about my spirituality and really helped me flourish as a person.
Another I'd like to say thank you to is Aretha Franklin. She was a big part of the music I listened to growing up, and I think it's just influenced me a lot as I've gotten older.
A woman of color that I would like to say thank you to is my friend's mom, Tyneshia. She has been such a great role model for me throughout my life, and she's really optimistic no matter what happens.
I would like to thank my mother. She was a great example in my life, still is to this day, and she's always pushing me to do my greatest. And I would like to thank Michelle Obama for being a role model for women of color of all ages and showing leadership and that anybody can be in her role.
Definitely my mom. She's done everything for me.
Awesome.
Definitely my friend Tyneshia. She's really amazing and has gone after her dreams.
I'd like to thank my mother for being a strong black woman who has raised 5 children along with my father. But she has been that nurturer that we all need, and I really appreciate her for instilling that in me. I'd just like to thank all women, black women, just for being the strong, wonderful women that we can be, for being the leaders, the nurturers, we fill so many roles and in this role we call black women, but I thank them. I think I'd just like to acknowledge all black women just for being special. Black women are overlooked in the educational system, just in the system in general, but particularly in education, because we're not viewed as intelligent. We're viewed as objects, hips, lips, curves, all of that good stuff. So I think they don't see us as being intelligent.
I would say often black women aren't represented in the education curriculum because of systemic racism and sexism within the education curriculum. And it took a very long time for the idea of black history to even be acknowledged, and I think even within that it's focused solely on black history that white people are comfortable with, and also black history that glorifies male achievement at the cost of female excellence. And I think that is the next obstacle for all people, not just people of color, because when we acknowledge the achievements of black women, we encourage the next generation of black women to achieve. And I think we've seen that with documentaries such as the Hidden Figures that has reminded black women that they can go beyond what they've been told they can do. They can go to the moon even. And I think that would be the reason I believe that Black women are not often represented in curriculum.
My mother, because she inspires me. That's like my best friend. My grandmother, because she's strong and powerful.
Alright.
My mom.
And why your mom?
Because my mom is just like a great example to me. Like my mom is like that person, like she's the go-getter, so like I just want to be everything like her, if not better. So she's just been a good role model to me in my life. She's just like an exceptional woman. Oprah Winfrey, because I'm a broadcast journalism major, so I just kind of looked up to her for all these years because I want to eventually drift off from being a news anchor and hopefully start my own talk show. So I want to be like the next Oprah.
So I'd like to thank my mom. She always is there for me. She is my biggest supporter, but also she's not afraid to set me in my place when I have an attitude or when I want to give up on myself. So thank you, Mom. Yeah.
Okay.
So a few years ago, I met Bria Granville, and we actually only knew each other for 9 days, but it was at a minority journalism workshop here at Western, and she was part of the photojournalism major, and she basically opened my eyes to storytelling and just the impact that you can make. So thank you, Bria. You opened my eyes and ultimately helped me find my career field.